hair is so flat today that I just genuinely think it looks better with the skincare headband that I stole from my daughter. So forgive the hair accessories. Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video, and I actually think this video is going to be the first video of this kind this year that is going up in the month it's intended to go up, which is April. Today we are going to be reflecting on every single makeup and beauty product that I purchased last April, so April 2024. And I'm going to be telling you if I was in my right mind when I made these purchases, or if I was just like blacked out purchasing everything, which seems to typically be the case in April. Sephora VIB sales usually going on, and historically April, May, and June are higher spending months for me, so I have a lot to cover with you guys today. This series was inspired by Hope Mess Tom, so I will have their channel linked down below. I absolutely love their channel, love their content. One of my favorite creators on this space. You will be entertained the entire time you're over there, and they just give some really insightful thought. Like, they just make me actually think about my makeup collection. Fully trust their reviews, and I just highly recommend Hope Mess Tom if you have not watched them yet. So I'll leave them linked down below. Other than that, if you're interested in my thoughts on the makeup and beauty products that I purchased last April, stay tuned. First, if you have yet subscribed to my channel and you like, what do you like? Palette themed content, chit-chatting about makeup, things like that. I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment or anything else the YouTube algorithm loves for you to do. I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, I will start off by saying 5 of the makeup products that I purchased last April, I have already emptied out. So I feel like that's a win. 2 of the makeup products I have decluttered. One of them was the Tower 28 Lip Softy, which I have decluttered to my daughter. In my opinion, that was a terrible product that I don't know how it hit the shelves. And I feel like they've also possibly extended the shade range. Either that or maybe they had like a holiday set. Regardless, I think that is a truly terrible product. It doesn't stay on the lips. I'm serious when I say I feel like it lasted like 3 to 5 minutes, and it almost like pilled on the lips. Did not like that product at all. So that is gone. And then the other product I haven't yet decluttered, but I know I will be decluttering this in my next makeup declutter. It's the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. I feel like I've used like a decent chunk of this, but it's just too heavy underneath my eyes. I do have more dry skin, and I just like the Makeup by Mario or the Nakia Joy powder so much better than this, that for me, it just doesn't make sense for me to keep this. I can pass this along to someone in my life who has oily skin and who will really like this. So even though it's not quite yet a declutter, I know it will be, so I'm counting this as something that will be decluttered. In terms of the products that I have finished up, I did buy the Very Valentino foundation last April. That is an empty. I really enjoyed that foundation, but I didn't end up ultimately repurchasing it. I do like the Dior foundations a little bit better. I like my Guerlain Healthy Glow a little bit better. I do want to try the new one from Guerlain, but they did not have my shade during the last Sephora sale, so I haven't purchased that one yet. But finished up Very Valentino, which I'm very happy to have bought and finished a foundation in the same year. I also finished up the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I bought that right before leaving for Vegas last April because it would be an easy gripping primer to travel with, and I enjoyed using that. I will say I prefer the that was the niacinamide one. I like the niacinamide one. I wish that e.l.f. Jelly Pop was just a permanent thing to their line, but alas, it is not. So I would purchase that again. I just have other primers that I'm currently making my way through. I also finished off one of the Too Faced Kissing Lip Jellies. We have another one that I purchased last April that we are gonna get to, but I finished off Sour Watermelon, which I purchased. The Rare Beauty mascara I bought during the sale last year. I absolutely loved that mascara. That is an empty, and that is something that I do intend to repurchase. I actually am really quite close to being like through the majority of my mascara collection. As I've opened a few, they've been so old that they're like dried out, and I've had to throw a few of them, but it's about time that I can actually just like buy whatever mascara that I want and want to try. So Rare Beauty is done and empty. And then the 5th and final thing that's already emptied out is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, which was my favorite eyeshadow base up until I discovered the Ulta Beauty one, and I much prefer that one simply because it is pigmented, so it kind of looks like my lid shade, and then it is about half the price, probably a little bit less even, and it is just as good, if not better. So those are the 5 empties. Now let's get into, so I have a bin full of products, and then I also bought 5 fragrances last April. So we can start with the fragrances, and we can start with this one because this one I would not buy again. This is from Salt & Stone. It's the Bergamot and Hinoki Body Mist. I bought this because I heard Lauren May Beauty talk about this as a spa-like scent, and I was like, I like to be relaxed. I like a spa-like scent, and I do feel like this does give a very nice kind of spa-like scent. It just does not last at all, so I don't really even use this as a body spray just because I feel like there is literally like barely any wear time to it. I use this as like a pillow and bed spray. So about 15 minutes before I get into bed, I spray my bed down with this. Sometimes just as I'm climbing into bed, I spray my bed down with this, and it smells like a little spa as I'm climbing into bed, but it has fully dissipated by the morning. I have used this much of it. It's just very expensive for what it is. I much prefer their body washes, but I would personally not buy this again. And honestly, I just can't recommend this because there just is like no wear time to it. I also bought the After Sun scent from Vacation. I was really interested in this because I love the original Vacation scent so much. And this is supposed to have like the After Sun gel sort of scent. And I do agree, it does smell kind of like aloe vera and cucumbers. It's a very fresh scent. And I was a little bit disappointed in this when I first got it. It just didn't become an absolute summertime staple to me. But what I will say is I've been very into this the last like 4 to 6 weeks. It again kind of has that almost like, it's not really like a spa-like scent, but it's so fresh that it's just kind of nice to spray on, especially if I'm just like lounging around the house. I almost just spray it on for myself to have this like clean cucumber fresh sort of scent. It really does smell like their aloe vera After Sun gel in my opinion. I don't necessarily know that I would spend $60 to buy this again, just because if I was choosing a fragrance to like go out in the summertime in, this would not be it. And I don't necessarily need like an around the house fragrance, but I am enjoying this one. It's just not a favorite or a staple. I also bought the Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato last April, and I will say I like this, but it's again not a favorite and not something I can see myself buying a full bottle in, and not really something I see myself repurchasing even in this size. There's one coming up that I want to spray, but a part of me wants to spray this on me too. I like this so much more than most of the Kayali fragrances that I've tried. It is just a little bit sweeter than I typically go for when I'm going for a fragrance. I usually like something a little bit more like unisex, leaning masculine, and a little bit more like earthy, to the point where like I would be happy smelling like grass, but like a sophisticated grass. I still enjoy this, like I still will get use out of it. I obviously haven't used a ton of this, but it's not a favorite. I'm still glad that I have this though, and I think it'll take me a while to get through. This is one though that I've heard, like depending on your body chemistry, can really kind of lean one way or the other. So I would maybe try seeing if a local Sephora or somewhere has this, that you can like spray it on yourself and wear it to see if you like how it smells on you. All right, I bought the Jo Malone Yuzu Zest cologne. I love bright colors, and so like the packaging for me is really what sold me. And I do love something a little bit zesty. I really enjoy this. My only complaint with Jo Malone fragrances is, again, I don't feel like they have the best wear time, but definitely better than like the Salt & Stone. The other day, my daughter got these like llama beans. Oh my gosh, it's like a YouTuber that sells these like stuffed llamas, and now these llamas come everywhere with us. Like they've had to come to gymnastics every time since owning them, and I'm sitting there then watching gymnastics holding the stuffed llamas, but she sprayed these on the llamas, and I was just reminded as to how much I love this. But I was like, Zoe girl, this was expensive, so like we love the llamas, but they don't need this. Anyway, this was limited edition, so you can't get this anymore. I am very happy that I bought this. It has that sort of like zesty, unisex, masculine sort of scent to it. Oh, I love this one. I really do. Perfect for like patio drinking. This is definitely something I would spritz on myself before going to have a spicy margarita on the lake. I just feel like it's perfect for that. It gives that sort of like citrus zestiness that I feel like is just so perfect for patio season. And when I finish this, I definitely will keep the bottle because I just think it's so cute and I love the colors. So this was a good purchase. And then the final fragrance that I bought is from Nette or Nette, I never know. And I bought Coco Fleur, and I bought this because I was going to Vegas for a work conference, but also like I stayed a couple extra days because I just love Vegas so much. So this was my scent for that trip, and I want to see if this takes me back because it's been so long since I've smelled this, but I did really enjoy this. Very sophisticated coconut sort of scent, and I would not buy this in a full size again, but I definitely would buy a deluxe size. One, so that it can hopefully continue to take me back, but two, I do like this from time to time for a summer scent. I just wouldn't want to wear this too much that then like my scent memory gets tied up in other things. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna spritz this on and see if it... Yes, it does. Oh, it does take me back. Oh, I love that. Okay, it definitely has, again, kind of like a sophisticated coconut meets sunscreen. Like, we are in Vegas, but we're there for both work and pleasure. I feel like this was the perfect scent for that trip. I truly don't, oh my gosh, this is like making me happy to smell. I truly don't feel like I could have picked a better scent for that trip, especially because, in my opinion, this isn't quite the best, like, it could be high summer heat, but in my opinion, it's like the perfect scent for like, we're starting to get warm, but we're not quite at the height of the heat of summer. Really enjoy this scent. If you can get your nose on this one, I highly recommend smelling that one too, especially if you like a coconutty summer fragrance, but that has a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a sophisticated twist. In my opinion, I really like that one. Moving on to the makeup. I'm looking at everything, and like, honestly, I feel like the majority of the products that I bought in April really were good buys, which is kind of shocking because I feel like sometimes I can get swept up in the excitement of the Sephora VIB sale, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're getting 20% off. How exciting. But I feel like overall we have some good products. I'll start with the things that like I'm really happy about. So I bought the Gucci bronzer in the shade 1. I already had shade 3. Shade 3 was just gonna be way too dark for me, except for when I'm most tan, like except for a couple of months in the summer. And I like the formula so much that I wanted to have shade 1, which will match me best majority of the other times of the year. Shade 2, like I've swatched shade 2. Shade 2 would not work really just because of the undertone. Shade 1, I'm like, when I'm like self-tanned in February, I don't know that this would work for me. Anyway, I do love this. I love the formula, and I do get quite a bit of use out of it. I don't know if you can tell, but quite a bit of the embossing has worn off in the center, and I feel like I've used this a ton. I think the packaging is thick, and it could be a little bit weightier, but I do love the blue, and it just feels like a little luxurious treasure to have in my collection as well. So I'm pleased with this purchase. Another purchase that I'm pleased with, this was like I already knew going in, I really enjoyed this product. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I had gone through a deluxe size of this and I really enjoyed this concealer, so I knew that I wanted to buy another one. I will say this is not my everyday reach for concealer. This is a little bit thicker in like a moussey way underneath the eyes. It doesn't look heavy in my opinion, but it is just a little bit heavier than like a serum concealer like the NYX. So for day to day, NYX works better for me, but if I am like going out, like if I were to go patio drinking, I would wear this. If I were to be going out for my birthday to like Topgolf, I would wear this. If I want my makeup to really last and stand the test of time, I love reaching for this, love wearing this. It's still one of my favorite concealers in my collection. It's just not my like, I'm just everyday going to work. It's not like that sort of a reach, but anytime I want my makeup to look flawless, this is the concealer I'm reaching for. This was also a great buy. This is the Too Faced Kissing Lip Jelly. I have the shade Bubblegum here. I have been kind of reserving this for times that I just really want a pink sparkly gloss because I know I'm gonna have to repurchase this. I'm about halfway through this. I should just empty this out and then just buy another one. I really like a Barbie pink sparkly gloss. I have a couple others in my collection. One of them is the Daphne gloss from Glamlight. I wish I could buy that again, and I checked the other day and I can't, and it makes me so sad because I love that. I really enjoyed this one. I will say Sour Watermelon was just kind of a sheer a sheer color, and I finished that one up. I like the formula, but it wasn't anything special in my opinion. I like this one because it's a sparkly pink, but it doesn't feel gritty on the lips, and I feel like it's the perfect merging of like a lip gloss and a lip oil. It does feel more like a lip oil, but it's glossy like a lip gloss. And I know that they've come out with several shade extensions since the original launch. There's definitely some that have caught my attention, but my lip collection is like just way out of control. So I've been trying to resist, but once I get through all the sparkly pink glosses in my collection, this would definitely be something that I would buy again. Oh, this is also just a phenomenal purchase. The Ole Henriksen Palette Preserve. This one is in the shade Cocoa Creme. This was my first time buying this. This one is a really beautiful brown shade. Actually, I'll put a little bit of this on. I don't feel like it's gonna perfectly match my look. I do want a little bit more gloss though. I've been loving this Buxom Plump Shot gloss in Spellbound. The first time I used it, I was like, oh, I don't like that at all, because I just put it on like my plain lips, and it has like a duochrominess to it, but layered on top of something else. I'm like, I love this. So anyway, this I bought this April though. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, okay, the Ole Henriksen Palette Preserve. Cocoa Creme is this really beautiful brown shade. It's pretty pigmented, but it's not anything scary to put on your lips. It's not like this really pigmented, scary lip product that's gonna get on your teeth and get on your face. It's such a beautiful brown shade, and I like something a little bit deeper on the lips, especially lately. I feel like I've been starting to dabble in something not just like pink and nude. So I really, really love this. I love the formula. It is like a gloss that is like makes your lips look glossy like a gloss, but it's nourishing like a lip mask, but not this super thick, like distracting product on your lips. I absolutely love the Ole Henriksen Palette Preserve. My favorite lip treatment, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I would say that this is my favorite lip treatment. My only complaint is that the formula is very chemically off of the bat. Like when you put it on your lips, I always talk about the blood orange being the worst. It tastes like a chemical, whatever the scent or the fragrance is, and it is quite unpleasant like right in the beginning, but it dissipates pretty quickly, except for the blood orange. So I definitely do want to note that, but I love the formula so much. I've gone on to purchase 4 more of these. Like I purchased a total of 5 Ole Henriksen Palette Preserves last year. That's how much I love them, and I have emptied out a different shade, and I'm almost through another one. So this was an excellent purchase. I'm so happy to have this. Again, it has become my favorite lip treatment in my entire collection. So that was a good buy. Another good buy would be my Lawless Forget the Filler. I think it was George that I bought last April. I have so many Lawless Forget the Fillers, like I can't exactly remember when I bought what, but we all know this is my favorite gloss in my entire collection. I love the formula. I will say you do not get a lot of gloss in the product. I think I looked it up and you get 0.11 ounces in the product. And for reference, the Fenty Beauty is like 0.3, possibly 0.33. So there's that. You definitely go through these really quickly. It is a thicker formula, but I think it really just fills in the lip lines and makes my lips look so smooth, so luscious, and so plump without having that annoying like burning sensation. It definitely has a mintiness to it, but it's not anything like Too Faced lip injections. So my favorite gloss of all time. That was a good buy, but that was not a risk. This was an excellent buy as well. This is the Fenty Beauty lip oil. I'm obsessed with this, and this was limited edition last year. I'm so freaking happy that they have brought a range of the lip oils out because I love this formula. It is my favorite Fenty Beauty lip formula that they have come out with. It just, again, feels like the perfect hybrid between a gloss and a lip oil. I have the shade Frosted Buns, and I know some of the Fenty lip products, when they have the sparkles to it, there can be that gritty texture to it. This does not have that gritty texture. I love the doe foot on this. It is a bit longer and it has this nice curve to it, so it literally feels like it's hugging your lip as you're applying it. The shade Frosted Buns is this really beautiful kind of rose gold that has pink and blue sparkle running throughout. I think it's so beautiful. I just cannot recommend the Fenty lip oils enough. I repurchased the Tarte Timeless smoothing primer last year. This is my favorite smoothing primer, so this was a repurchase. This was a good buy. I haven't used this a ton because I haven't been as concerned about my pores as much as I have just wanted my makeup to last longer, so I've definitely been opting for a gripping primer more frequently than a pore filling, but I still think this is a good buy because it's my favorite pore filling primer and I have it for those times that I really want to fill my pores. I also think this was a good buy. This is the Rare Beauty powder blush. I have the shade Cheer. First of all, I think the shade is so beautiful. I am someone who does not like a matte cheek. Clearly, I like something glowy on the cheeks, and I have been finding more and more as I've been getting older that I like for my glow to come not only from my highlight, but I really do like a bit of a glowy blush. I don't think I could do a totally matte blush anymore. I could do a matte blush and then a blush topper, and this is how I really use this product, more as a blush topper where I'm layering it on top of another blush. Otherwise, this can look a little bit too highlighty. But oh my gosh, this shade is such a beautiful like peachy pink, and I just absolutely love it. The other day, my daughter and I were in Sephora shopping. It was like the last day or second to last day of the sale, and she was like, Mom, did you know it's the Sephora savings event? And I was like, yes, of course I knew that, Zoe, not telling her I had already placed several online orders. And she was like, well, I have $70 left over from Florida. And then she like also ripped her tooth out that day, and she was like, and I know that the tooth fairy is gonna like cash in big, so let's go shop. And when we were there, we were at the Rare Beauty display, and she had one of the liquid blushes from Rare Beauty, and then I can't remember what shade she ultimately ended up getting. I think Happy, whatever shade of this she was swatching, I really wanted her to get so that I could borrow it. And she was like leaning towards the liquid blush, and I was like, no girl, you literally have to get the blush topper. It's so fun to like actually get to do these things with my daughter. And you guys, she's not going to school with like a full face of makeup by any means. I don't want you to think I'm not mom, but we do sit and play makeup together on the weekends. So anyway, and ultimately like her allowance money, she doesn't work for at all. It's literally just her picking the makeup that I ultimately buy. Anyway, where am I going with this? She bought another one of these, and I'm so excited about it. I'm definitely going into her vanity to grab it. I love this formula for a glowier cheek, and I've been getting more and more and more and more into a glowier cheek. So in my opinion, this was another good buy. So far, we've only had two, well, I guess if you would call this a bust, like I definitely didn't need this. 2 declutters, 1 bust. I mean, I definitely did not need this either, but I'm glad to have it. Anyway, we're moving forward. We're not getting distracted by the squirrels. Oh, the Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat was also a really good buy because I feel like this is what really sold me on lip liners. I got the shade Iconic Nude, and since buying this, I swear I use a lip liner every single day. Like, I love lip liner now. I couldn't imagine my life without lip liner. Like, I honestly just can't imagine not doing lip liner now. I actually did have a lip liner on earlier today. I don't know that you can even tell anymore, but every day I'm doing a lip liner. Whether I'm doing a gloss that day, a lipstick, a liquid lipstick, I'm always doing a lip liner. I really enjoy a lip liner with a gloss over top. I love lip liner now, and I feel like this is truly what kicked it off. I also do really like, this is like my perfect nude shade, so very pleased with this. This is something I would buy again when I finish, so I am happy with that purchase. Okay, the final 4 products. I would say definitely like I would be okay without these. The first one though, I want to preface by saying this is a product I have really enjoyed. I just feel like I've tried a few bronzers since buying this that now I like over this one, but for a drugstore bronzer still I think this is really good, and honestly this is better than some high-end bronzers. It's the NYX Buttermelt bronzer in the shade 3 Deserve Butter. I actually went on to buy shade 2 in this as well. My only complaint with this right now is it's just so pigmented, and I can be so heavy-handed that sometimes I just go in way too heavily with this. I do still enjoy this. I'm not going to be decluttering this by any means. I just have a couple other bronzers that I am enjoying over this one now. So if this were to like go missing, I wouldn't buy it again. But I still think it was a good buy, and I'm glad that I got to try it. I feel like NYX is like the last year or so been coming out with some really good products. So there's that. Then I have the One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer. I'm almost done with this, but this, in my opinion, just is too expensive for what it is. If you're looking for a good gripping primer, I would just get one from e.l.f. Like, if you are just solely looking for a gripping primer, the e.l.f. is $10, and it's the best I've tried, in my opinion. This does offer, it does feel hydrating as well. Like, this was a nice primer, but it's $36 and the e.l.f. is $10. So I will finish this up, but it's definitely not something I would buy again, and I really just recommend e.l.f. over spending $36 on that. This next product, I feel like I really go hot and cold with this one. It's the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. Depending on how dry my skin is, depending on how well prepped my skin is, this can be really beautiful. This can also look horrible on my skin, especially days that I'm wearing this. Like, if I've worn this to work and my skin is just like drier, I find that at the end of the day, my skin does not wear off well, especially when my skin is at its driest. I know some people love this one. For me, it's something I'll keep in my collection and still use, especially for like filming. I feel like this looks really beautiful on camera. Sometimes when I'm filming, I'll literally just do my makeup, film a video, and then I take it off. So I'm not wearing my makeup all day. And this is perfect for those moments, but this is not something, unless it's like in the middle of the summer and my skin is not super dry, this is just not something I trust to wear to work, because it just does not look flattering when it wears off on my skin. Not something I personally will be repurchasing, but I do think I can finish this up. And it's not something that I'm feeling inclined to declutter at this moment, so it's just fine. And then finally, I have the Patrick Ta She's the Moment Blush Duo. Okay, I do love the Patrick Ta blush duos. I've said a couple of times, I just like Patrick Ta as a person. I'm just like, the vibes aren't right. And so I don't want to say I'm not boycotting his brand, because Lord knows he's going to release a product that I'm like, oh, I'm so into that, and I'm going to have to try it. But I am trying to take a break, at least for a bit, from the brand. Now, this released last year alongside it was a shade extension with 3 other shades. One of the shades was Not Too Much, which I ultimately ended up buying later. I bought this because I thought this would be the perfect sunburn blush, but then I just was not into the sunburn blush as much last year. That's not to say I'm going to declutter this. I still love the Patrick Ta blush duos. I really, really like the formula. I just truly thought I would get so much more use out of this product than I ultimately ended up getting. I will say though, my daughter did ask if she could have this, and I said no. I did give her a different one, but I was like, no, girly, I do still want this in my collection. We'll see if it's a little bit different this year. When I was in Florida, I was really, again, kind of loving the sunburnt blush effect. So who knows what I'm going to be into when we reach summer here in Minnesota. But I feel like ultimately, if I didn't have this in my collection, I really wouldn't have been missing a whole lot. So that is everything that I bought last April. Those are my thoughts on all the products that I brought in. I would say overall, not a bad month. I mean, a bad month of spending. Like, we spent way too much, but I do enjoy the majority of the products that I ended up bringing in last April, which again, sometimes can kind of go either way, because we get swept up in the sale of things and we buy things that we just weren't even interested in. So I would love to know what you bought last April, and if you have finished it up, excuse the train and its rudeness, what you bought last April, if you finished anything up, what your thoughts are. Did you buy anything that was a big bust last April? Wow. Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.